Have you ever read a corporate statement after tragedy and felt nothing? Just carefully chosen words, public relations, damage control. But after the horrifying shooting at the In-N-Out Burger in Twin Falls, Idaho, In-N-Out owner Lynsi Snyder delivered a message that sounded deeply personal instead of carefully scripted. It was emotional, heartbreaking, and for many people, unforgettable. Before we begin, if you enjoy honest news analysis backed by verified facts, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest stories. This is one of those stories that goes beyond business. It is about real people whose lives were changed forever in just a few terrifying moments. On August 1st, 2026, tragedy struck the newly opened In-N-Out Burger restaurant in Twin Falls, Idaho. According to Twin Falls officials, a gunman opened fire in and around the restaurant, creating panic among customers, employees, and families enjoying what should have been an ordinary afternoon. Police later confirmed that 3 people were killed and multiple others were injured before the suspected shooter was found dead. Authorities continue investigating the motive, and the FBI is assisting local investigators. One heartbreaking detail made the tragedy even more personal for the company. Among those killed was one of In-N-Out's own associates, an employee who had come to work expecting nothing more than another shift serving customers. Instead, her life was stolen in an act of senseless violence. As the investigation continued, In-N-Out president and owner Lynsi Snyder released an emotional public statement that immediately spread across social media. She didn't begin with statistics. She didn't focus on the company's reputation. She simply wrote from the heart. "My heart is broken." Those 4 words immediately set the tone. She continued by revealing that the company had lost one of its beautiful associates, someone who had been serving customers when the attack happened. She described the shooter as a disgusting human who doesn't value the lives of others or his own, expressing both grief and outrage over the innocent lives that were taken. But the part of her statement that resonated most wasn't directed at the shooter. It was directed at everyone who was hurting. She wrote, "I love you all, and I ask you to turn to God, not in anger, but seeking comfort and strength for those who are hurting." Whether someone shares her faith or not, it's difficult to miss the sincerity behind those words. She wasn't trying to start a political debate. She wasn't assigning blame. She wasn't promoting the company. She was speaking as someone grieving alongside employees, customers, and families. That distinction matters. Today, after almost every major tragedy, public statements often become predictable. People expect carefully reviewed corporate language designed to avoid controversy. Instead, Snyder chose vulnerability. She admitted she was heartbroken. She admitted she had been crying. She openly spoke about faith. That authenticity is probably why so many people have connected with her message. In-N-Out has always been different from many major restaurant chains. The company is still family-owned. It has expanded much more slowly than competitors. It has built much of its reputation around treating employees well, maintaining consistent quality, and preserving its family culture. Those values don't erase tragedy, but they do explain why the loss of an employee seemed to hit Snyder so personally. This wasn't simply another location on a spreadsheet. It was part of what she often describes as the In-N-Out family. The Twin Falls restaurant had only opened about a week before the shooting, making the incident even more devastating for employees and the local community who had celebrated the restaurant's arrival. As investigators continue gathering evidence, many questions remain unanswered. Authorities have not yet established a public motive. They continue interviewing witnesses and processing evidence from the scene. Officials have also emphasized that there is no continuing threat to the public. Whenever tragedies like this happen, people naturally search for explanations. Why did it happen? Could it have been prevented? Will we ever truly understand what motivated the attacker? Those questions may eventually receive answers through the investigation, but they won't bring back the people whose lives were lost. And that's why I think Snyder's statement focused on something different. Instead of pretending to explain the unexplainable, she focused on comforting those left behind. Personally, I think that's what made her message powerful. Whether you're religious or not, moments of unimaginable grief often leave people searching for hope. Some find it through faith, others through family, others through community. Snyder chose to publicly share where she found hers. She didn't demand that everyone agree. She simply invited people who were hurting to seek comfort instead of anger. In today's world, where nearly every public statement is immediately analyzed through political lenses, that felt surprisingly human. It's also important to remember the real heroes in this tragedy. Witnesses described employees helping injured coworkers. Customers protected complete strangers. First responders rushed into an incredibly dangerous situation to save lives. Doctors, nurses, and emergency personnel immediately began treating the wounded. Those acts of courage often receive less attention than the violence itself. Yet they remind us that even during terrible moments, compassion still exists. The families of those who lost loved ones now face a grief that no headline can truly capture. Several injured victims continue recovering. Employees who survive will likely carry emotional scars long after the physical crime scene disappears. Those are the people who deserve our thoughts, not the person responsible. As this story continues developing, investigators will likely release additional information about the victims, the timeline, and the shooter's motive. But regardless of what those findings reveal, one truth will remain. 3 lives were lost. Many others were forever changed. And an entire community was forced to experience unimaginable heartbreak. Our deepest condolences go to every family affected by this tragedy, the injured victims, the In-N-Out associates, first responders, and everyone in Twin Falls struggling to process what happened. May the victims be remembered not for the violence that ended their lives, but for the lives they lived before that terrible day. What do you think about Lynsi Snyder's response? Do you believe her message of faith and comfort was what people needed to hear during such a painful moment? Share your thoughts respectfully in the comments below. If you found this report informative and appreciate factual news with thoughtful analysis, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more verified stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.